Hello, everyone, and welcome back to JaianMusic Notes. I am extremely excited about today's solo episode. There is quite a few things to get through here. This is JaianMusic Notes, the podcast where I either break down my anime song covers or look over anime soundtracks with guests. Today's a solo episode, and I'm going to be deep diving music I create. The cover of Bad Situations from Naruto. I'm breaking it down. It's a little bit different from my usual ambient and orchestral palette. It's much more high tension and electronic. But if you're a fan of suspenseful anime moments, electronic textures, or just curious about how an anime music YouTuber reinvents an iconic anime track, this is the podcast for you. So before we jump in, I just want to give a big thank you to Laser Audio Technologies. If you're looking to level up your audio plugins, laser.io. Go over there and use code JaianMusic at checkout for 30% off all of their creative effects plugins. They are fantastic, such as Fram and Glow. And every dollar generated from that code goes straight back into the podcast, such as GoPro who does all of the artwork. Go follow him. Links in the description. So, Bad Situation is a lesser known but highly effective tension cue from Naruto's original score. It was composed by none other than Toshio Masuda, who scored much of the early Naruto series. Unlike some of the more melodic or emotional cues, this piece is entirely built on tension. It's often used when something is about to go wrong. You'll hear it in stealth scenes, tactical buildups, or moments of dread. The original track is mostly percussive and intense. There's a minimalism to it that lets the pacing of the scene shine through. But interestingly, Bad Situations, in my opinion, is one of those anime soundtracks within the Naruto score that is overlooked by fans because it's not front and center like Sadness and Sorrow, like I've covered in the past, or the Raising Fighting Spirit. But its role in the emotional pacing of the show is absolutely crucial. So let's get into the cover itself. This cover is a deliberate departure from my ambient music palette pocket that I like to sit in. If you've been listening to Anime Anthems Volume 4, that's kind of where I've heavily leaned into more orchestral and chill symphonic textures. But this time I wanted to push myself creatively by going full electronic tension. The lead synth is this sort of arpeggio-driven, buzzy, pressure escalating sound. It's like you're falling into a trap layer by layer. The harmonic movement stays tight, but each layer builds on a different division to keep the listeners slightly off balance. Throughout the piece, I use this really cool Omnisphere drum sequence. No actual drum set here. Just like drumming cues, drumming snaps, drumming triggers, like not an actual full blown out electronic kit. It's just got this swing and groove that is almost stumbling forward consistently. It adds a sense of urgency and unpredictability, and it really had that cool electronic texture that I was looking for. I had something very buzzy within the synths, and I felt like I needed a sort of looping, drummy beat that could just kind of shoulder it a bit more. Think of it like the musical equivalent of looking over your shoulder, actually, while running down a hallway. It's a constant drum sequence with a jumpy swing. And when you get more into the second half here, there's this higher pitched synth lead that's more piercing, more anxious, more insistent. I didn't layer new percussions here. Instead, I let the existing beat drive the entire structure, because at this point you've been committed to a very buzzy, offsetting synthetic sound, and I want something that's piercing, something that just kind of breaks up the structure of the song, like make it an A-B, and making that upper synth feel like the moment of panic in a fight or flight response felt like the right decision to make. I also added slight modulation and distortion artifacts to simulate like things falling apart, not like glitches, but controlled chaos. Chaos is a really good word, actually. I can relate it a lot to my electroacoustic music composition. I feel like chaos is a fun concept to reach for, but learning to control it sonically can make it even more powerful. The reason why I departed from my ambient palette is after doing a lot of chill covers and more relaxed or halftime covers, I wanted to like find something that gave me the excuse to get a bit more intense, and Bad Situations was that perfect excuse. The tension and release are vital in this song, and as much as I love ambient soundscapes, sometimes it's the sharp edges, the urgency that makes me excited. So by switching gears, I'm not abandoning ambient music. I'm just reminding myself that tension is just as important as tranquility. This track was a way to feel the pressure as a song cover channel, as a fan, and as someone who's trying to build something new to a song that was never meant to be beautiful. It was meant to be unsettling, like I said. So in terms of the breakdown, that's kind of how it was. If you enjoyed it, please go listen to it. The link is in the description. And if you also want to listen to my more ambient pieces, there's all my anime anthem albums. Remember, the podcast exists because of your support, so share with a friend, tag me on social media. Don't forget to use code JaianMusic over at Laser Audio Technologies to get 30% off. We got even more awesome covers and discussions coming down the pipe. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast in your favorite podcatcher. Give us a 5-star review. Follow me on social media at JaianMusic. JaianMusic.com is my website. And follow GoPro Kale, who does all the artwork for the podcast. So until then, this has been another episode of JaianMusic Notes. Goodbye, everyone.